In the outermost reaches of the Andromedan rim, beyond the charted systems and the polite borders of interstellar empires, something stirred. She was called Cathaira, though most species only dared whisper her name. Her form was larger than continents, her mind older than recorded time. She was not born. She condensed out of stellar matter and dark energy during a cataclysm that shredded a galaxy core. The elders of the universe had labeled her a world-eater, though that was not quite right. She devoured not out of hunger, but to exist. Stars dimmed in her presence, planets cracked like glass beneath her touch. Entire civilizations perished when she awoke from her slumber and drifted through their systems. They built weapons that could melt moons and fleets that could darken skies, but nothing could stop her. Every alien race told their children stories about the Star Mother, the Titan of ruin, the cosmic heretic. Cathaira had no home. She was too vast to rest on any world. Her body shimmered like liquid obsidian, with veins of molten blue energy pulsing through her skin. Her eyes, two suns burning in an eternal twilight, could gaze across light years. Her thoughts resonated through space like waves in a black ocean. She was alone. For millions of years she floated through the void, aware of everything yet untouched by anything. Stars sang to her, galaxies whispered, and the universe itself hummed softly beneath her perception. But none of it spoke to her. None of it called her by name. Until one day something impossibly small did. The human who spoke her name. The ship was named the Endeavour, a human exploration vessel barely 120 meters long, like a speck of dust compared to Cathaira's immensity. Its mission: to chart anomalies at the galactic edge. Its captain, Elias Vance, a man of 39 years, weary-eyed and quietly defiant against the loneliness of deep space. When his scanners picked up a gravitational disturbance the size of a star cluster, he expected another black hole. Instead, what his instruments revealed made no sense. Something alive inside the gravitational storm. He sent out a probe, then a signal. The signal bounced back, warped, carrying something that sounded eerily like a voice, not transmitted but sung through gravity itself. "Who calls to me?" The voice trembled through the ship's hull. Crew members clutched their ears. Equipment exploded from overload. But Elias, he didn't flinch. He walked to the forward observation deck, stared into the holographic view, and saw her. A shape so large it didn't fit into the screen, only fragments of her visible. The arc of her shoulder, the glow of her eyes like nebulae colliding. And yet, he felt something profoundly human in that gaze. Something searching. He whispered, "My name is Elias. I didn't mean to intrude." Silence stretched between them. A silence long enough for stars to die. "You are small," she said, her voice resonating through his atoms. "And yet you are not afraid." "I should be," he admitted. "But you're magnificent." That word, magnificent, echoed through her consciousness like a forgotten melody. No one had ever called her that. Not the civilizations who prayed to her. Not the armies who tried to destroy her. They had called her a monster, a force of destruction, an abomination. But beautiful? Well, never that. 3. The bond beyond scale. 4 days. The Endeavour orbited within the gravitational halo of Cathaira's presence. Other species would have fled. But humans, foolish, curious humans, had always been drawn to danger. Cathaira began to speak more often, though her voice was more like emotions projected directly into Elias's consciousness. "You are ephemeral," she said once. "Your kind burns bright and dies fast. Why wander so far?" "Because," Elias answered, "we can't help it. The unknown calls to us. Even if it kills us." She pondered this. You chase oblivion with such devotion. He smiled faintly. Maybe. But sometimes we find beauty there. Their conversations grew longer, stranger, deeper. Elias shared stories of Earth. Oceans that glimmered under sunlight, mountains older than cities, music that could make people cry. He played her fragments of human sound. A violin concerto, an old folk song, the laughter of children recorded on a holiday centuries ago. Kathyra listened. The frequencies of those sounds rippled through her vast body, harmonizing with the energy currents that pulsed inside her. For the first time in her endless existence, she felt warmth. When he spoke of art, she projected visions back to him. Cosmic vistas of birth and collapse, the shimmering threads of space-time, the way she perceived galaxies like colors beyond color. Elias began recording everything. His logs became a bridge between human wonder and cosmic intelligence. His crew, terrified yet loyal, watched as their captain spoke with something that could unmake universes, and smiled while doing it. Then the galactic powers noticed. For the fear of the many, word of Kathyra's reawakening spread faster than light. The Voric Dominion, the Ixal Hive, and the Celestine Conglomerate, the three oldest spacefaring empires, formed a coalition. They had fought one another for eons, but in her presence, old enemies became allies. Their histories carried scars of her touch. Entire planetary clusters lost to her energy storms. Their ancient ancestors had survived her wrath only by fleeing into deep space. And now she had returned. Fleet upon fleet mobilized, each carrying planet-breaking weaponry. Their goal: neutralize the Titan before she consumed again. Elias received the transmissions, warnings, orders, pleas. They demanded he leave the system. But when he told Kathyra what was coming, she only blinked slowly. They come to destroy what they do not understand, she said. As always. They think you're going to attack them. I would not have. But perhaps I will defend myself. Her tone was calm, but beneath it, a cosmic storm brewed. Elias could feel it. The gravitational field shifting, the hum of energy thickening around her colossal frame. Kathyra, he said softly. Don't. You'll kill billions. They're afraid. She looked at him, looked through him. And you are not. He hesitated, then shook his head. No. I've seen who you are. You're not destruction. You're lonely. The universe seemed to pause. Even the stars dimmed. For the first time since the dawn of creation, Kathyra wept. Not with tears of water, but with collapsing photons, a rain of light falling through space. Her sorrow echoed across parsecs. 5. The battle at the edge. When the Allied fleets arrived, the sky itself ignited. Millions of ships formed an armada that stretched across constellations. They opened fire, unleashing energy equivalent to the birth of suns. Kathyra did not move. The blasts struck her and dispersed harmlessly, as though reality itself bent around her. But each impact hurt, not physically but emotionally. She had been called a monster again. She had dared to feel, and the universe had punished her for it. Elias, she whispered through his ship's hull. Leave now. I won't, he said. If they want to destroy you, they'll have to destroy me too. You would die for me. He nodded. Maybe that's the only way they'll see you're not what they think. For a long moment nothing happened. Then Kathyra moved. She unfolded her form, stretching across space like a living aurora. Her wings, if one could call them that, spanned light years. Every alien who saw her quailed, thinking it was the end of days. But instead of striking back, she sang. It was not a sound but a frequency, a resonance that touched every mind across the fleets. They saw her memories, Stars collapsing, worlds adoring her as a goddess, the endless loneliness afterward. They saw her pain, her patience, her quiet yearning to be understood. Elias's voice joined hers, broadcasting his recordings of her beauty to all channels. Her voice, her thoughts, his own admiration. "Look at her," he shouted. "She's not your enemy. She's a part of creation itself." The fleets hesitated. Commanders faltered. Some ships powered down their weapons. Others still fired, but less certainly. One plasma beam struck the Endeavour directly. The ship broke apart like glass. 6. The sacrifice, Cathyra screamed, a sound so powerful it tore gravity itself. The beam had not harmed her, but the death of the tiny, fragile human who had called her beautiful shattered something within her vast soul. She reached out, not with hands but with will. She caught fragments of his ship, his body, his essence. Within her, energy gathered like a collapsing star. "You gave me warmth," she whispered into the void. "I will not let it end." Using powers beyond physics, she rewove his atoms, reignited his consciousness, not as flesh but as light. Elias awoke within her, not as a man, but as something between thought and energy. He could see the universe as she did, feel its hum, its music. "Cathyra," he asked, voice echoing inside her. "I could not let you vanish," she said. "You showed me beauty. Now you are part of it." Together they radiated a pulse through the cosmos, a signal of peace, of coexistence between scale and fragility, eternity and mortality. The fleets that came to destroy her fell silent, humbled. Then one by one they left. 7. The new dawn. 1,000 years passed. Civilizations rose and fell. Legends spread across galaxies about the Titan and the human of light. Some said they became guardians of the void, protectors of young worlds. Others claimed they still drifted together, watching the birth of stars, whispering poetry to the newborn suns. And somewhere, in a quiet nebula far from war and noise, Cathyra and Elias existed as one, an eternal duet of matter and soul. He spoke sometimes of Earth, and she of the deep time between galaxies. When she missed his voice, he manifested it in her currents. When he longed for touch, she shaped her energy into warmth that surrounded him like a cosmic embrace. "Do you ever regret it?" he asked once. "Regret," she mused. "No. You showed me that even the smallest thing can change the infinite." She turned her gaze to a forming star cluster, a nursery of light, and smiled. "They feared me once," she said. "Now they sing songs of my beauty." Elias laughed softly. "Told you they'd come around." And together the human spark and the ancient Titan drifted on, forever intertwined, forever watching over a universe that finally, at long last, learned to see the beauty in its monsters.